Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. In this video, we're diving into the latest updates about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. You don't want to miss this. So make sure to stay tuned till the end, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The fluorescent lights of the intensive care unit flickered faintly, casting a sterile glow over the rows of beeping monitors and white walls. Outside, the city moved on in its usual rhythm, unaware of the heartbreak unfolding within these walls. But inside, one corner of the ICU had become the epicenter of an emotional storm. Kelly Ripa, the ever-smiling television personality, was breaking down, her tears falling freely, her voice trembling, as she stood by the bedside of the man she had vowed to love for life. Mark Consuelos, her husband of more than 2 decades, lay in a hospital bed, tubes snaking around him, each beep of the monitor echoing like a reminder of fragility. It was supposed to be a routine procedure, a simple enough surgery. Yet complications had arisen, unexpected and severe, leaving Mark fighting for stability while the world outside continued its indifferent march. For Kelly, this was more than a moment of fear. It was a confrontation with the deepest truths of love, commitment, and human vulnerability. Those who know her from the bright studios of morning television and red carpet events might never have imagined this side of her. Raw, unfiltered, vulnerable beyond measure. Yet here she was, her usual poise stripped away, revealing the unshakable bond that has held their family together through countless trials. It began in the early hours of the morning. Kelly had arrived at the hospital before sunrise, her face pale under the harsh fluorescent lights. The waiting room, usually a place of quiet reflection, felt suffocating as nurses and doctors moved past with purposeful efficiency, each step a reminder of the gravity of the situation. She sat in the stiff chair, hands clasped tightly, knuckles white, her mind racing through memories of the life she and Mark had built together. The early days of meeting on a television set, the whirlwind romance that seemed plucked from a Hollywood script, the quiet nights at home with their children, moments of laughter interspersed with trials, triumphs, and everything in between. But nothing had prepared her for this. Nothing could have. When she finally stepped into the ICU, the sight of Mark hooked up to machines, his face pale, his hand barely moving in response to hers, shattered something within her. The tears came immediately, unstoppable. She fell to his side, gently taking his hand in hers, and whispered words that only he could hear. "I'm here. I've always got you. Always." Her voice was hoarse, each syllable a mixture of fear, love, and determination. Doctors and nurses often see the extremes of human emotion, but even they paused, noticing the depth of Kelly's distress. It wasn't just worry. It was the manifestation of a promise she had made long ago, a vow that had carried her through the highs and lows of her career and personal life. In that moment, the ICU became a witness to a love story more powerful than any scripted television drama. Mark, for his part, was conscious enough to register her presence, his eyes flickering open briefly, and a faint smile formed at the corners of his lips. It was a small gesture, but in that sterile room, it spoke volumes. Kelly leaned closer, brushing a stray strand of hair from his forehead. "I promised I'd be here," she said, her voice trembling. "I promised, and I meant it. You're not alone. Not now, not ever." Friends and family, waiting anxiously outside the ICU doors, later described the scene as heartbreaking yet profoundly beautiful. It wasn't just a moment of despair, it was a testament to resilience, to the kind of bond that is forged through years of shared joys and sorrows. While cameras often capture the public face of celebrities, moments like this reveal their humanity. Kelly Ripa, with all her fame and recognition, was simply a wife, fiercely devoted, standing guard over the man she loved most in the world. As the day wore on, the medical team worked tirelessly to stabilize Mark. Every beep, every flash of a monitor, brought with it a wave of hope and dread. Kelly never left his side. She held his hand, whispered encouragement, and even managed a soft laugh when he tried, weakly, to joke about the absurdity of the hospital gowns. To onlookers, it was an emotional roller coaster, but for Kelly and Mark, it was the quiet affirmation of their lifelong partnership. Social media, inevitably, became a flood of speculation and concern. Fans of the couple flooded platforms with messages of support, many recalling how their love story had always felt grounded and relatable amidst the glitz of Hollywood. "We always knew they had something special," one follower wrote. "Seeing Kelly like this, it just shows how real love can be." Yet amid the chaos, Kelly remained focused, her promise echoing silently in every gesture. She refused to leave, even for a moment. Friends later recounted how she had slept in the waiting room chair for mere minutes, waking at the slightest change in his condition. She ate little, barely drank, driven by a singular purpose: to be present for Mark, as she always had been and always would be. The hospital staff, while professionally bound to treat patients, found themselves inspired. Kelly's commitment was palpable, her vulnerability lending a sense of gravity and sincerity to an environment often characterized by routine and protocol. One nurse, speaking on condition of anonymity, said, "You could see the love. Not the kind you see on TV, the real, raw kind. It was incredible and heartbreaking all at once." By late evening, a cautious sense of stability returned. Mark's vital signs had improved, the initial crisis passed, though the road ahead remained uncertain. Kelly, still by his side, allowed herself a quiet moment of relief. Her tears had not stopped entirely, they never did, but now they carried a trace of hope, a testament to survival and the unbreakable bond they shared. In the quiet aftermath, when the hospital corridors were emptying and the world outside continued its indifferent pace, Kelly reflected on what had just transpired. Love, she realized, was not always about grand gestures or public declarations. Sometimes it was about showing up day after day in moments of fear, uncertainty, and pain. It was about keeping promises that demand every ounce of courage and every beat of the heart. The story of Kelly Ripa in the ICU is not just a celebrity headline, it is a human story. It is about the fragility of life, the power of devotion, and the courage to confront reality, no matter how overwhelming. It is a reminder that behind every public persona, every smiling face on television, lies a human being capable of profound emotion, vulnerability, and love. As she sat beside Mark, holding his hand and whispering words meant only for him, one thought remained clear. Promises are not just words, they are actions, and Kelly Ripa, in that hospital room, living each moment with heart-wrenching sincerity, embodied that truth more completely than anyone could have imagined. In the days that followed, Mark's condition gradually stabilized, and while recovery would take time, the image of Kelly's unwavering devotion lingered in the minds of those who witnessed it. It was a moment of love and humanity, captured not by cameras, but by hearts, the kind of moment that reminds us why we invest in human stories, why we are moved by the courage of those who love fiercely and without hesitation. And for Kelly, the promise she had whispered in the ICU, her vow to stand by Mark through everything, remains unbroken, echoing in the quiet spaces of their shared life. It is a testament to the power of love in its most raw, unfiltered form, a promise that left everyone who heard it truly speechless. Stay tuned for all the updates about Kelly Ripa. We are the first to publish all the information about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, so stay with us to get all the latest updates. And stay tuned to our Kelly and Mark report for all updates.